Welcome back to our training program, and today we are going to talk about delegate servicing. Delegate servicing is a very important part of a well-organized event because when the delegates are happy with their experience, that means the event was successful. Now, if you are organizing an event which is for less than 50 people, then you would probably need only one person to deal with delegate servicing. If you are organizing a bigger event for more than 300 people, you would need a whole team who will be responsible for the delegates and their well-being during the conference. These people would be responsible for different tasks. Speaking of which, there are a lot of tasks that could be included into the job description of the person who would be responsible for delegate servicing. But today we are going to cover only several of them. First of all, we are going to talk about promotion and putting together the plan. Secondly, we will discuss the accommodation of delegates' needs during the conference and how to include these needs to the concept of the event. And lastly, we will talk about delegate servicing during the event itself. So let's start with the promotion. First of all, ask yourself a question. Why promotion is important? That's right. Some people don't know about this event, or they might not be sure if they want to come to this event. The purpose of the promotion is to show these people that this event might be the life-changing experience for them, and that they definitely need to be there. Before you start planning, you should probably sit down and think for a while about the delegates. What kind of delegates there will be? How many? What would they like to gain from this event? Now, you don't have to think about it on your own. You should gather your team and discuss it together, and I'm sure that during the discussion you will already have some great ideas that you could include in the promotion. When you have answers to the questions, you should start thinking about the promotion. What kind of promotion you will choose? Online or physical, passive or active? For example, AIESECers are using a lot of online channels for communications. That's why we are concentrating our promotion of the events on the online channels and social media. We are creating fan pages and event pages. We are inviting our friends and delegates through Facebook. We are also sending email newsletters that would include additional information about the event and something interesting for the delegates. When organizing a bigger event, you should start thinking of creating a website for event, because the website will bring additional value to the event. And also, you could put a lot of information to the website that would be very valuable, for example, not only for the delegates, but also for the partners and sponsors of the event. After the channels are identified, the real promotion starts. The key to the good and quality promotion is the thoughtful messages that you would like to send to your delegates about this event. You should think of all the information you would like to send to the delegates during the promotion time and divide these messages into several categories: importance, timing, and channels. You definitely don't want to overload your delegates with never-ending Facebook posts and emails that would contain absolutely the same information. There are several types of channels, and here's just a small hint for you. Formal channels contains invitations, flyers, basic information about the event, dates, location, price, and partners. Semi-formal channels, like newsletters, videos, and physical promotion, would contain a little bit more detailed information about the event, like theme, facilitators, accommodation, organizational procedures. Informal channels like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube would contain a little bit more exciting information for the delegates themselves. For example, competitions, introduction of the organizers, some fun facts, and etc. One of the most important key qualities of the good promotion is timing. You should really time your messages according to the organizational plans and the relevance of the information. You should also think about the buffer time for your messages. In case if something in the organizational part would go wrong, your messages won't be overlapping or confusing. To conclude this part, remember this thing: type of promotion, type of messages, and the timing. If you remember all of these things and take them into account, you will for sure get the successful promotion. Now let's talk about the delegates' needs and how to include them into the concept of the event. This is probably one of the hardest parts of the delegate servicing, especially when you have a set theme for the event. In this case, you should probably think about your own experience from the previous events. What did you like there? What you didn't like there? What was so good that you would like to have it on your own event? On the other hand, you could imagine yourself as the delegate at the upcoming event of yours. Imagine, what would you like to have there? What would make your experience amazing and unforgettable? What I did myself was pretty easy and gave me a lot of ideas for my event. I sent out a questionnaire to the alumni and more experienced members about their own previous experiences on the events of this kind. I asked them to think about what was good and what was bad and what they would like to improve during this event. And that helped me a lot to develop a proper strategy for the delegate servicing. The answers to these questions also gave a lot of ideas to my team members who were dealing with other things. But don't worry if you don't have great ideas right away. Start thinking about simple things. For example, food, accommodation, light atmosphere, fun, and so on. These are the key ingredients to the great and successful event. And of course, you should brainstorm more with your team about that. Talk through the details, the ideas, and for sure you will come up with something great. Speaking of the details, have you thought about your registration? How it would look like? Would delegates need to fill in the form, or should they just call to the responsible? Or will they just receive a letter of invitation? The registration is very important, because you will get a lot of information from that about your delegates that will help you to organize the successful event. For a bigger and longer events, you would probably need a little bit more information about your delegates. That's why I would suggest you to create a registration form, where you would include several questions about your delegates. Optimally, it should be on your website, so the people would have a constant access to it, and they wouldn't need to search through the emails and messages for the link to the registration form. The form should contain basic questions that would reveal information about the delegates, including the emergency contacts and, for example, food allergies or food preferences if you are planning on serving the food during the event. It also could have the questions that would be relevant for the organizers. For example, the expectations or how long the delegates is planning to stay on the event. These little details could help you to plan the event more carefully and take into account all the little things. Remember to include the basic rules of the event into your registration form. For example, the price if the event is not free of charge. It is also important to include the information about the contact person, if the delegates will have some questions regarding the registration or the event itself. And the last part of the delegate servicing that should be planned in advance is the time during the event. We could do a separate training about that, because there are simply so many things that you should plan in advance. Because when the event starts, the real work of the delegates responsible will start as well. Here are some basic things that you should plan in the advance. For example, delegates arriving and accommodation, also welcome packages if you are going to have any, eating time and other services and utilities, general rules of the event, agenda and free time. It is important that the delegates know the organizers of the event, and if in case of emergency, they would know where to find you. It is good to put your contact information, for example, next to the agenda that would be given out to the delegates before the event. The last tip for today about the delegate servicing is that you would have to plan and prepare in advance as many things as possible, because, as I said before, the real work will start when the delegates will start arriving, and then you would like to have everything going smoothly. Thank you for watching us, and hopefully we will meet next time. Remember to stay tuned, there are more trainings coming. Bye bye!